call to order. The town board clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Deteen.
Here.
Trustee McDowell.
Here.
Trustee Taylor.
Here.
Trustee McKinney.
Here.
Chairman Neal.
Here. There are no agenda changes that I know of. That being said, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on November 17th, 2015 at 6:30 p.m.?
So moved. Second.
Motion second. Discussion. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Deteen.
Aye.
Trustee McDowell.
Aye.
Trustee Taylor.
Aye.
Trustee McKinney.
Aye.
Chairman Neal.
All right. Next item on the agenda is citizen comments, and I would like to invite Ms. Amy Onan up. She contacted me to see if she could do an information presentation on ZBLA.
Yes, so my name is Amy Onan. Thank you for having me this evening. I'm just going to take a few moments to explain about my experience in the Zion Benton Leadership Academy Year 2 Practicum, which is designed to encourage Year 1 graduates to expand their independence in becoming more effective leaders as we serve our community in a more impactful way. Recognizing important needs for the improvement process, and education for successful leaders. I graduated ZBLA last year in 2014 and am currently serving in my Year 2 Practicum. Hope to be graduating in 2016. Initially, my reason for participating was to network within the community. However, it well exceeded this goal. First, I was pleasantly surprised to get so much out of the sessions. Topics varied from self-analyzing and evaluating our skills to setting SMART goals for our near future. Second, the opportunities that were presented encouraged my involvement and growth within the community. As an example, I now serve on the Zion Benton Library Board. Third, I met some amazing individuals in which I will have lifetime connections with and just always have as a reference to go to. During ZBLA, the sessions, as I mentioned before, some of them had unique opportunities that presented themselves. In these unique opportunities, one was when Willard Helander came and spoke to us at one of our sessions and expressed that there was many different opportunities, and at the time, she spoke about how to run for an elected position. During 2014, there were many different openings that were available for the Zion School Boards, the Zion Benton Park District, and the Zion Benton Library Board. After utilizing some of the connections that I made in making meetings and conversations, I chose to run for the Zion Benton Library Board. I think that that is one of the best fits for my skill set. And I can proudly say that I'm currently serving in my first of 6 years there. So, as a trustee, being the elected official was not part of my immediate goals. However, I'm enjoying it, and the education that I am receiving as a trustee is very vast. While participating in the 2-year practicum, we are asked to observe a variety of community meetings, governing service club meetings. Examples are the Exchange Club, Kiwanis, the Lions Club. The purpose is to expand our knowledge experience on our meetings and see how they are conducted. Personally, this has been very beneficial and comforting. As a new library trustee, I can look back and utilize and see the experiences. And it just has helped me really feel a little bit more comfortable within the board. There are additional requirements that involve reading and following up with a report to our mentors. The reports include what we've learned and how we intend to use this within our new roles in the community. I'm fortunate to have an additional mentor in my Year 2 practicum, who is Scott Murphy. He is extremely informative in both my personal and professional relationships. We've discussed many important topics. One such topic is being balanced. As we all know, when we are serving, it can sometimes be difficult to say no. So this has come up throughout our many discussions and the effects it can have on our family, work, or even life as a whole. Scott and I try to meet in person on a monthly basis. However, sometimes it can be a bit tasking, and I do know that he's always available via text, phone call, or email. So it's great to have him to lean on. And I guess in summary, overall, ZBLA has really touched my life, and I have felt encouraged to grow as a leader. It has made somebody who's not originally from this community feel more vested in it, and I just would like to say thank you and encourage others to attend or be a part of it if possible. Is there any questions or comments?
Just to give a little bit of a background, so we started Zion Benton Leadership Academy 4 years ago, Nan Hilliard and I, to get more individuals invested in leadership in the community. Dr. Chris Clark actually came to us and said it would be incredible to have a year 2 practicum that's more self-led, where individuals have to go to different board meetings, do a report, they have to read some books, and they work with their mentor. And so part of graduating from the year 2 practicum is you have to do a presentation at a board meeting. So this is to complete Amy's final
Well, not final, but
No.
one of the requirements. correct.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for your
to
time.
present on ZBLA, so thank you.
Thank you.
So
Should we
good
give you a grade for this, or?
I'd prefer not.
job. Are there any other questions or anything for Amy?
Is there any questions about Zion Benton Leadership Academy or comments? Well,
Excellent.
thank you.
The next group, we do applications all year long, and we choose people in July, and then the program actually goes from September through November, and we
Correct.
just graduated 11 people, so 11
Yes.
more. So we've had 45 graduates so far in the
Yes.
program, so it's pretty substantial.
It's a pretty amazing,
Yeah, so cool. So
Yeah,
thank
it
you very
really is.
much,
Thank
Amy.
you, guys.
I'm excited to see how much you got out of the year 2 practicum. I think you will be, should you
We'll
complete
still-
this, you will be number 5 to graduate the year 2 practicum.
yes.
So,
I will complete it.
okay, yeah.
It's just, a little journey. And year 2, I don't know if I stated in this, I'm sorry, but it is self-driven. So there are books that we read and need to report on, and so it's really, you have more than a year time span to complete your goals. And I think the average is about a year and a half. So.
Amy also works for the Job Center of Lake County and partners with Zion Township specific with their summer work program. So she was one of the ones that actually comes out to the office on a Saturday and does all of the interviews with the kids, and yeah, she's really invested in the success of our community, so I appreciate it very
Oh,
much.
I appreciate it. It's a great community to be
Yes.
involved in.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Bremner?
Honorable lady, honorable sirs, gentle lady, and gentle sir, because it is the time of the season, I rise this evening to inform you of the results of the research that I have performed upon your collective behalves. I have found out the difference between King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table and Santa Claus's reindeer. The knights go out to slay a dragon, the reindeer go out dragging a sleigh. And with that, I bid you all to have a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year, and I thank you for your time and courtesy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bremner. Wow. Are there any other citizens' comments? Juanita? Chris? No jokes? Okay. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Moving on to item 6, authorized bills for payment. Trustee Deteen.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting with the Township supervisor, her chief deputy, so to speak, and with our assessor, and had a good meeting there. The total of the bills for this month comes to $63,263.47. So I respectfully ask the trustees to approve those bills. So I put that in the form of a motion.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Taylor? Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Next, I would like to, at 6:38, call for a public hearing. Is there anyone to come before the town board in regards to the levy that we will be passing shortly? Going once? And going twice? Okay, move that the public hearing be closed. 6:39. Moving on to item 8, consider passing ordinance 2015-04, levying taxes for all town purposes for Zion Township, Lake County, Illinois, for the tax year 2015, collectible in 2016. And before you, we put together an ordinance, and the If you look at, oh wait, do we need a motion first before discussion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept Township Ordinance 2015-04 with the following amendments on page 4, the summary of the levy. Well, actually, it's throughout the levy, but I'd like to suggest that we reduce this levy by $34,273, taking it out of the corporate town tax, making that amount $545,200. That's my motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion. If I can just start with the foundation of this levy. Those of you who have been on the board for a while know that, and I gave you 2 pages that further explain. So if you turn to this page, and I'll just hold it up so that you can see it, the top page of this.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. The second page, it explains our levy for this year. As you can see in last year, we were able to levy for $565,706. Our budget expenses were for $664,663. So we've brought it way down. On the second page, if you look at the second page real quick, in the 3rd row, it shows town fund and general assistance revenues since I got elected in 2001. And as you look down that sheet, you can see that since 2010, if you compare the number for 2010 to the number for 2015-16, our income has been cut literally in half. So we have reduced our income by 50% since 2010. We reduced our staff by half. We reduced services to everything that we possibly could, to the bare bones. And it still brought us down to our budget being $664,663. The reason that we have not gone into serious financial trouble is because we did have a reserve prior to the last 2 years. And Lloyd and Jim, you guys have both been involved in substantial budget discussions between me and the assessor, discussing how we just stretch out for the next amount of time until the revenues raise so that we can be submitting a balanced budget. As you know, for the last couple of years, we have been submitting a budget that is in the red by over $100,000 each year. We have been literally holding our breath, waiting for the tide to turn so that the EAV increases, so that we can get our budget to a balanced budget. Like I said, we have been very grateful because we've had enough reserves to get us through, to cover the amount of money that we had to budget for, but we did not have in income. Larry's working on 1 full-time, 1 part-time, and working his tail off, and had Larry not been willing to take some substantial hits, we would be in much more serious trouble than we are. That said, Zion Township government is the only government body that is capped at 2.5% for the town fund. We cannot levy above 2.5%, which is why we took such a huge hit at 50% of our income. So we are not increasing our levy. We are going for, it's the EAV times 2.5%. And so that gives us an increase of, $14,000 in the town fund, which is not that much, and we're still a long ways off from what we budget. But it gets us a couple $1,000s closer. The area where we made the biggest increase, and this is where I think a lot of taxing bodies get concerned, is because last year we took a serious look at our budget and our income, and we had some reserves in our Social Security fund, which is FICA. Now, FICA and IMRF, they just tell us what we pay. We don't have any control over that at all, and we're mandated that we have to pay that. but we had some reserves in the FICA fund that we don't need to carry that much of a reserve. So last year, we lowered our levy in that fund by $35,000 so that we could get our reserve at a lower amount. Now that it is at the lower amount, but we need that money to be able to pay the FICA. So we lowered it last year because we didn't need the reserves, but we need to be able to pay that. So this year, we put it back in there to be able to pay it. But at the same time, to lower our surplus in IMRF, we reduced that levy by $20,000. So this year, our increase, all right, is $34,992. Last year, our decrease was $35,000. So substantially, all we're asking for is, last year, we took the cut because we wanted to deplete it from our reserves, but this year, we need to be able to pay that amount. So in essence, that is the explanation of that. So I would, Mike and I had several conversations, and what I shared with him was that I cannot, in good conscience, submit a budget at 0%, because if we do, then how do we pay the social, the FICA next year? We're putting ourselves in a much worse situation. Larry, do you want to add anything to that?
No, you've covered it. Sounds good.
Yeah. Mike, did you want to add to that?
I guess, I think we should consider passing a zero increased levy, just because our tax rate right now is 21.5?
21.21.
21.21%. And we've been meeting together as taxing bodies with the purpose of seeing what we can do together to jointly reduce that tax rate that our citizens are paying. And I think it has some effect on attracting businesses into our community. It certainly has some effect on attracting people moving into our community. And we actually, as a township board, are tasked with making the hard decisions. And this is a hard decision. There's no question about it. I'm just amazed and grateful for you and your staff able to continue to function quite well and accomplish a lot in our community, even having had reductions over the years. So what you've been able to demonstrate is that you actually can do the work of the township with fewer resources. And it's unfortunate that I think, again, this year, we need to take a serious look and not raise the levy. And that's why I made that proposal. If my math is off, and it might be, 34,273 is what I suggested to put us at a zero increase. If my math is off, what I would have preferred is that you would present a levy with zero increase to take it out of where you want to take it out of. So that's actually the point of the motion, is that we have a zero increase in our levy. Do I need to make an amendment to that we get to the point? My motion would be, although I calculated a dollar amount, if it's off and doesn't reach a flat levy, then I'd like it to reach a flat, no increase in our tax levy. That's my motion.
Thank you. And I just want to reiterate that my understanding is we aren't increasing. Larry, can you?
You probably
continue?
want
Our budget. We're not increasing our budget. It's just that the values have gone up that much, so the percentage amount is going to increase the levy.
And I think we're fortunate that we're in that position, because we can then, our taxing bodies can affect the tax rate. If we pass a levy of 3.86, that would just keep the tax rate flat, you know?
You're
Yes.
well.
But we can actually
But
reduce the
this,
tax
this
rate.
such a small amount really isn't going to make, and I know that's against everything I talk about for the last 33 years. I do agree that we should reduce our taxes, but this little amount isn't going to make that much difference on a homeowner's tax bill. And it may not make any because of the increase in value.
But this is where it will make a difference, because if we're going to sit together as taxing bodies in the city of Zion with our library board, with our park district, with our school districts, and say, we need to come up with budgets that will actually affect the tax rate, that will decrease it. And if I'm sitting at that table, and they say, well, you just voted to increase the tax levy, so why are you saying that? Well, I won't have an answer for that. So I can't, in good conscience, vote for an increase in our tax levy, even though you're right, it is a very small amount. So we could actually perhaps survive and, in good conscience, make that case to our other taxing bodies, including the city and all of our other taxing bodies.
Well, and I would
That's
just,
my rationale.
and I appreciate that, and I completely understand that. What I'm saying is that our budget is staying the same, if not going down if we can, because we are over, because of our income decreasing by 50% since 2010. We've gotten rid of half of our staff. We have done everything we can. We are at bare bones. But what we've been waiting for is the tide to turn. Like I said, I think the average taxpayer pays $60 a year for the taxes, and the resources that are available to residents far exceed that amount. But we are not increasing our budget. We are doing everything we can to decrease it. We have been so fiscally squeaky, doing everything we can. But to be able to stay on task and 2.5%, like I said, our entire budget, the entire budget across the entire community will go up $34,992, divided by the residents, if it does, because the EAB is going up. So I believe that the tax line will still go down for townships, even putting this through, that it is, that it will be a decrease, and it will help us to close that gap, because if we don't close that gap within a couple of years, I mean, if we continue, if what you're saying is that we have to hold the line to what the levy is now for eternity, is what I'm hearing you saying, we are $100,000 in the red, $100,000, and that's with getting rid of everything. We have the retirements of past employees that we're responsible at the township level. We have other things that we can't squeak, we can't get rid of. General assistance, we are mandated to provide those services. So we've gone from, collectively, in 2010, our budget was $1,689,245. We are currently at $848,988. I don't think there's anybody on this earth that would not say that we have been completely fiscally responsible in doing everything we can to be a part of that solution. Recognizing that in doing that, we have to close that gap, and every little bit helps, is all I'm saying. So I agree with the tax issue. I think the township has done more than its part to be a part of the solution across time, but there comes a point where there's a breaking point, and there's a cost for services. I mean, there's a basic cost for services, and we are at that point here, and I just think it's really important that we honor the services that we are mandated to provide, and do, I believe, and it might be arrogant on my part, but an incredible service on our part, including, with the assessor's office, with the job that they've been able to do with all part-time staff cutting back, with my staff, so. That's all I have. So, so we have a motion and a second on the floor for a 0% to change it. Am I allowed to say that? I hope it dies. Just want to make sure I covered all the points. So, and then just for your reference for future, the financial history I shared with you gives the full financial history from 2001 through now. So if you have any questions about that, you have that information. That said, second, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Mateen?
No.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Taylor?
Aye.
Trustee McKinney?
Aye.
And Chairman Neal?
No. Assessor's report.
No report at this time.
Okay. Supervisor's report. I have a few things for you. Gail Glaudemans, the Assistant Township Supervisor, and I attended a training in Dallas, Texas to become practitioners for the empowerment dynamic, which based on David Emerald's book, The Power of TED. This program has shown significant results with a lot of our clients in helping them to become the creator of their life instead of feeling like they're stuck in a victim situation. We are really excited for the information that we garnered, and we will be sharing more information on that in February. I want to give special thanks to the students of Ms. Pickering Beach Park Middle School. A stack of letters were delivered to Zion Township offering thanks for the character banners around the community, which included what each of the students' favorite character trait is, as well as what they need to work on. So it was very cool. A big surprise. We did not know that they were doing that, so that was really nice. Hopefully some of those will be showing up in local media. The Zion Benton Community of Character is looking for nominations for people who are caught living out the character traits of respect, perseverance, responsibility, safety, integrity, and kindness. Send nominations to zbcharacterclub@gmail.com. Thursday, December 17th is the ELF Network Dinner hosted by Christ Community Church. Township trustee and pastor Mike McDowell escorted the Christ Community Church youth group to help pack gifts on Saturday, December 12th in Chicago. We had to leave at 5:30 a.m. and he was on a bus with 17 teenagers, so I'm sure that was a fun ride. Gifts, food, and...
They were asleep, so.
What's that?
They were asleep.
Oh, yeah, yeah, maybe going there, but gifts, food, and gift cards for Jewel were all donated by Santa's Volunteers, formerly known as Santa for the Very Poor. Additionally, Zion Township provided appointments with each family to assist with a variety of needs. Love Inc. provided a clothing distribution event, working with Lake County churches, hosted at Grace Missionary Church. Zion area schools provided the referral to the program, and Kiwanis and Bernie's Books also are donating to the families, serving 50 families this year. And additionally, I just want to give out a shout to Larry and the Zion Benton Moose Lodge. They adopted 25 families and will be providing food and gifts for them. So thank you for that, Larry, and pass that along if you would. Zion Township will be offering walk-in appointments for LAHEAP on Tuesday, January 5th from 2:45 until 3:45 p.m. Call the township to find out what documents to bring in. This month, we served 77 residents with LAHEAP applications. They've been processed this month, bringing in so far close to $30,000 for families in the Zion community. And we used to do individual appointments every half an hour, and what we found out when Adrian and I went to Carmel House is that some appointments take 10 minutes, some appointments take 40 minutes, but to schedule 30-minute appointments when we could have 4 people come through that are 10-minute appointments wasn't the best use of our time. So we started doing blocks of times. For those that don't know, LAHEAP is the energy assistance program that assists with electric bills and gas bills. And for qualifications, if you just call the township, Sandra can give you that information. So very proud of that work. ZB Guides can be found in most businesses, including Dairy Queen, Hair Illusions, Walgreens, and the Zion Park District, as well as Zion Township. In it is a community calendar that lists all the key dates. They're also out in the city lobby. If you have an event taking place within the Zion, Winthrop Harbor, and Beach Park communities that you would like to have included, contact Chris at goflow.com. Top Box is going to be at the Shiloh Center tomorrow, December 16th, from 12:30 till 2:30. A Christmas box, including a ham and all the fixings, is for sale for $18. And then just a couple other things. I joined the youth leadership team. We formed a youth leadership team made up of 6 kids from each of the grade schools, and this year we actually had 2 gals that graduated from the grade school at New Tech that wanted to stay in the youth leadership team. So we have 28 kids total in this group, and we bust them all out to Feed My Starving Children, which, if you have not been there, it is the most incredibly run organization. And we packaged food for, I don't even remember the number, but collectively between donations between all of us in the schools, we also donated $1,000 to Feed My Starving Children. So it was a pretty powerful event. And then last but not least, just to let everybody know, Zion Township will be closed tomorrow from 11:30 till 1. for staff Christmas, and then they will be closed on December 24th and 25th, and December 31st and 1st, as well as January 18th in observance of Martin Luther King Day. Just want to notify everybody that my entire staff will be off the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's. I will be there, so forgive me if I'm not sure. I have a very, very skilled team, and I will do the best that I can to serve whatever needs come through. So I had two other real quick. Billy, with the LAHEAP applications, and I'm crossing over between township and city for a second, but the LAHEAP applications are for residents who need assistance in paying their gas and light bills. And Gail and I were brainstorming today, and we just thought that there might be an opportunity, if you guys were putting together an email list of landlords, that we could, when there's things that can assist their tenants, if there's an opportunity to notify them. I don't know, I was told that landlords can give their email address to you guys, but they don't have to. But I was just wondering if you intend on doing any kind of regular email communication to landlords.
That's our intent.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, when you do, if there's an opportunity to partner and share information with them,
absolutely.
that would be awesome. Cool, thank you. And then my next issue is I have a huge training in January and February that I would really like to be at. So, wondering if, Jim, are you the senior trustee? Who would fill in my stance? Would you be willing to chair the meetings in January and February for me? If we keep the agenda really light?
Yep.
Excellent, okay. Thank you very much. I'll get smarter. So that said, is there anything else to come before the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Motion second. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Deteen?
Aye.
Trustee McDowell?
Aye.
Trustee Taylor?
Aye.
Trustee McKee?
Aye.
Chairman Neal?
Aye. Oh, but I can sign the last page.
Good evening.